Today, we're making a Nobu-inspired miso salmon. This is one of the best recipes you must try, and it won't empty your wallet. Not only is this a simple recipe to make, it's packed with flavor from the caramelized sugar, miso, and fatty salmon. Serve this with some jasmine rice and bok choy, and you've got yourself an amazing dinner. There's no fancy equipment or ingredients required to make this, and in fact, everything you need can be found at Trader Joe's or Walmart. This recipe is based off Nobu's famous miso black cod and uses my favorite fish, salmon, instead. So whether you're looking to save money on food, looking to make famous recipes at home, or just looking for a dish you'll love, this recipe is for you. There is some prep work involved, so let's get cooking. In a bowl, mix together 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of mirin, 1/4 cup of sake or Shaoxing wine, and 5 ounces of white miso paste. Mix this all together until combined. This will become our marinade for the salmon. We'll add 2 pounds of salmon into the marinade. Make sure all the salmon is covered and submerged in the marinade. Cover and let marinate in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours for best results. After 24 hours, we can take our salmon out. This next step is optional. I'm going to cut the salmon into more even thickness pieces. This will help us during the broiling process to avoid the thinner parts of the salmon from burning. You don't technically have to do this, but it makes it a bit easier and it looks fancier. We'll add our salmon to a parchment paper lined tray. Go ahead and also preheat your oven with the broiler on high. Our salmon is ready to go. We'll put it into the oven on a rack positioned 7 to 10 inches away from the broiler, allowing this to cook for about 6 to 8 minutes. Keep an eye on this. The sugar in the marinade burns very quickly, so we just want to cook this enough for the salmon before then moving the salmon to about 4 to 5 inches from the broiler. This will help caramelize the top of our salmon. Allow this to caramelize for about 2 to 3 minutes, monitoring constantly to avoid burning. Once we have a nice caramelized top, we can remove our tray with the salmon from the oven. We can then remove the salmon from the tray and put onto a different tray. Here, I'm removing the thinner pieces like we talked about earlier, which are now finished, while the thicker pieces need to go back in a little bit longer. Both use the same method of cooking. To help prevent the areas where we remove salmon from burning and generating too much smoke, we can add some parchment paper. Our salmon is now complete, and holy cow, just look at that golden and delicious salmon. This recipe always turns out amazingly well, and it's surprising how simple but delicious it is. And boom, we have a Nobu-inspired miso salmon. This is hands down a dish you must try. Don't forget to have your kitchen fan on high speed and keep things well ventilated, as the sugar burning off does generate some smoke. Other than that though, this recipe is delectable. Salmon is a fantastic option for homemade dinner, and this recipe is a great option to level up your dinner. The miso marinade is not overwhelming in flavor and still preserves the flavor from the salmon in each bite. This could also make for a great meal prep if you plan accordingly. If this looks delicious, then be sure to like and subscribe for more, and let me know down in the comments below what your favorite dishes are. We'll see you next time.